old is the hot dog? In America, historians credit Charles Filtman, who in 1867 opened the first Coney Island hot dog stand in Brooklyn, New York. In Europe, a butcher from Coburg, Germany invented a popular sausage known as a dachshund, or little dog sausage, in 1690. Or you can go all the way back to 850 BC, to Homer's Odyssey, where there's a reference to roasting a sausage over an open fire. So, is the hot dog of Greek origin? In Sioux City it is.
Why Greeks and why hot dogs? Why Greeks and why restaurants? Small restaurants, small, like you have the Horizon, the Johnny Mars, and this and that.
All Greeks, that's what they have, restaurants, and that was George's dream, I guess, so.
Nick Kazatakis from the Horizon worked there, we worked together for 14 years. John Barrio worked there. I think Gus Panidas worked there. All those Greek guys worked there, and they all have their own restaurants now. I mean, we did a lot of crazy things back then. The Loop was going by, and I can't tell you anything.
50 cents. 50 cents. It wasn't my idea.
When they come to Sioux City, they have to hit the hot dog shop, and that's the Milwaukee is the place to go, I guess.
We do have a lot of customers. As soon as they come to Sioux City, first thing they stop here.
Especially in the summertime, we get a lot of people that used to live here in Sioux City and come back. They always come to Coney Island, Green Gables for their chocolate fudge sundae or whatever it is, and they used to be the old tavern. They always hit the three spots.
We send hot dogs to Alaska and the cooler, California, Texas, any place you think. Even the time we go to Florida to see our son, we take hot dogs in the cooler.
Grandpa started the Coney Island in 1921.
I started helping here when I was in junior high school during the war years on weekends, pick up dishes. And we had the base here, Army Air Corps. They had about 10,000 people, and this place was just jam-packed day and night. It's 4 or 5 families made a living out of here in those days. And the pay in those days isn't like today, They all had families and raised families. They worked here, though. My dad took good care of them.
Well, when they were 10 and 11, my Uncle Nick and my father Steve, the hot dogs came in links. So their job was to separate all the hot dogs. And the buns, back then they were going through 400 or 500 dozen a day, 24 hours a day. There was no fast food places, that was the deal downtown. And they had to slice every bun by hand. So, that was a lot of work.
We were open 24 hours a day then. There were a lot of people. In the late 40s and early 50s, between Pierce Street and Nebraska Street, there were 10,000 people that go by.
For some reason, I thought they were going to leave it up for a little bit more.
His brother helped him, Gus, and that's who then started the business. So we started in 1975. That was the end of summer, kind of. And all those years, me and George working here. And of course, our son, he used to work here in high school years and college years for spending money, because that's the rules was, so.
Before you came here, had you had a hot dog in Greece? Had you ever?
Never in my life, never.
When was your first hot dog?
I guess it was here, in our place.
Well, when I came to this country, I worked with my uncle, John's Cafe, and working for 90 years. Creation building burned down, which was my uncle's restaurant there too. And I didn't have no job. And Gus and I got together and said, let's buy the Milwaukee. So we bought it in 1960. and it's been wonderful all those years. We've been busy now for almost 48 years since my two boys took over.
Just one thing. One with everything and cheese. Hello, Jumbo Jim. You know, Joe Frisbee, he used to come in all the time. He still does. And he would always say, hey, make sure, you know, put stuff on mine and this and that. And, you know, I had a hot dog the other day and they didn't have a wiener in it, see. Well, one day I did that. After he said it so many times, she always had 3 hot dogs. So I get 3 hot dogs and the one I did not put a wiener in it. See, and it goes in the back. And now I've never done it before, see. And all of a sudden, I hear, oh, he started laughing in the back there, and I knew what took place, see.
Bart Bronger was in Vietnam for 2 years. And he came back from his mission, and he stopped at the Coney downtown, and he ate 26 hot dogs. From the Coney Island, he went to the Yule Tavern and purchased 2 taverns, ate those before he went home. And then he went home. He went to the Coney and the Yule Tavern first. His first 2 stops.
Elvis Presley's been here. It was on a Sunday, yeah. The Osmond brothers, when they were small, they were up at the Spencer Fair coming through Sioux City to get the train wherever they were going. Guy Lombardo, all the time, he had his bus. He always gets sacks of hot dogs for his help after they played upstairs at Skyline Ballroom. Spike Jones. Probably a lot of people don't know who Spike Jones is, but one from Yankton. He had a program, what's his name? Lawrence Welk. And Sing Along with Mitch Miller. He was here. I have a picture there with my dad and him. He was working a weenie. Dear Abby and her sister. He's coming here all the time.
Usually they order the hot dog, or hot dogs, or a hot dog with chili, or the special, which is 2 hot dogs with a potato salad and pap. And sometimes gyro, and they like the baklava, that's my special thing.
I had a gentleman, black gentleman, in about 2 weeks ago. We conversed for about a half hour, and he was telling me that when he was a child, he couldn't get into Bishop's, they couldn't get into the Sheraton Warrior, but they could go to the Orpheum Theater. So he and his buddies would go to the show on Saturday or whatever day it was, and then they'd go through the alley, and they had all come to the Coney Island. So my grandfather was one of the first, if not the first. I wouldn't know, but he was right in there. I was in 9th or 10th grade when they opened. It was a Sunset Plaza back then, and they were down by Hy-Vee back then. And they were here 35 years, Daisy and Nick, and then Nick's health went bad. And I was in the bar business 18 years prior to that, and the bank bought me out, and I needed something to do, and I don't know, not that it worked out right, you know, my uncle's gone, but when he couldn't be here anymore, I just happened to be available, so it's just one of those things. It wasn't planned, believe me. I bought myself a job.
George's chili, they say it's one of the best.
I used to tell people, see, as long as I'm down here, I said the coffee will always be no more than a quarter, and it's still a quarter a cup, you know that.
You know, restaurants, bars, grocery stores, and bakeries, you have to be married to the place. If not, you're not going to make it. I don't care. Those businesses.
So the boys doing a good job right now, so we just let them run.
Do you still eat hot dogs?
Yes, I do. You know, like an apple a day, I have a dog a day. Keep the dog away.